going on, guys? Today we're talking about why AMP went to war with the Clover Boys, how Optic won champs back-to-back years in Call of Duty and still considering making a change, and lastly, the revival of Clash Royale, all because of this man Jynxzi. Let's get right into it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate it. Why did the Clover Boys go to war with AMP? Both houses were destroyed, but we know they have money, so they can get those fixed, no problem. It's kind of building up for this whole AMP summer thing, I feel like, in a way promoting it, getting more eyes on them during this whole AMP summer thing that they're hosting. There were a few things that came out of this. The Duke storyline of the Clover Boys going to destroy Duke's room, which I'll show some clips of, and then Duke just full circle going back to their house, just destroying anything he can. Like I said, we got some cool stuff out of this little arc that the AMP and Clover Boys are having. We got a new meme from Rakai, you good mud. That one's been going everywhere, going crazy. I am just a little bit surprised that Twitch is still allowing this level of violence on their platform. And like, I know it's not person to person, no one's getting hurt, but they're still lighting fireworks inside the house. Real potential hazard right there. I genuinely thought that that was gonna be ended last year. Smashing monitors, smashing thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment. You guys might have saw, but this is all happening live. And so the Clover Boys are doing this and AMP is watching it happen live back at the AMP house or wherever they are. At the end of the day, I do get that it's all entertainment. And so it's not really a thing that Twitch needs to be concerned about when it comes to it being on their platform. But I do remember last year, there was a big talk around the fireworks and everything they did regarding the fireworks, because they're lighting them off inside the house. From what I remember, it was very smoky. They have fire extinguishers on hand, just like they did this time. They're taking safety precautions, but the real precaution would just be not to light fireworks inside the house. And there was a time where Rakai almost lit Phantom's room up literally on fire, because on Phantom's ceiling in his room, he has a bunch of cotton that's supposed to make it look like clouds, and luckily Tylil was there to shut that whole thing down, because almost guaranteed that that cotton would have caught on fire, and I'm not sure that they would have been able to stop that. If you guys know, let me know. Where are the Clover Boys going? I think that's what the question is now, because if you saw what happened, and I'll show some clips here soon, Rakai's room is freaking destroyed, guys. There's no sleeping there, there's no streaming there. It's by far the worst I've seen from any aftermath of any war like this online. Like I said, I don't understand how they are going to live there, because it's insane. We got a couple of clips. Let's go ahead and check those out real quick, and then we'll get back into the Optic story about how they won champs back-to-back years, but they're still considering making a change. Insane.
I don't know how much they fixed, but it was definitely in the process of being fixed, right? And so, once again, I expected them to get back at us. That's just what it is. We finna send them out the country. While they out the country, we blow their shit up, and then when they come back, they shit gonna be fixed, right? That was the joke. Even though it's a crazy ass joke and we bored, once again, that's us. You know what I'm saying? And so when we sent them out the country and then they seen us blow their shit down, by the time they got back, that shit was being fixed. You feel me? It was being fixed. I don't know how much they fixed, but it was definitely in the process of being fixed, right?
So I do remember seeing this part of the story, you know, but let's go ahead and see what Kai says right here, because I guess he's explaining it a little bit better.
It was inevitable though. I don't blame either side. We fucked they shit up. They fucked our shit up. The only difference is we paid for their shit to get repaired. Our shit not getting repaired, Poppy. So we fucked they shit up even more, so they feel it. You feel me? That's just what it is, Poppy.
So, I mean, I guess Kai and the people at the AMP house aren't getting their stuff instantly replaced, which, I mean, it makes sense. Who's paying for this? I don't understand. Who's paying for the Clover Boys stuff? I don't get it. But lastly, last clip we gotta look at here. This is Rakai's room, and this is... I can't even tell what part of the room this is though, because like I think over here is the streaming area. I think that's a chair maybe. Bro, I genuinely couldn't tell you what part of the room we're facing right now. But anyway, I had a couple memes come out of this whole thing. This is the best meme that I think Rakai has so far.
They got 10 security guards at the gate.
For me.
Goodness gracious. Yo, look at people guns.
They shot my cameraman.
Good one.
good, man. Moving on, Optic won champs back-to-back years. I couldn't wait to talk about this. 2024-2025 season, they won champs, but they did it with Hook, Jynxzi, Dashie, and Mercules this year. Last year they had Jynxzi, Dashie, Pred, and Kenny. And last year they made the mistake of not the mistake. I guess in hindsight it was a mistake. But last year they made the mistake of not changing teams after they won champs. And this year it's interesting because they won champs and this team is new. And so they haven't played that many events together. I wouldn't say, in my opinion, that they need a team change. I think that if they were to go through this year, do well, win 1 or 2 events, that would be another successful year. But like I said, man, Optic won back-to-back champs after their worst season ever. Literally, they had an 0-21 run. They were called the worst Optic team ever by the CEO Hex. They had a new team every major this year, just about. I'm pretty sure there was a new team every single major, 1, 2, 3, 4, and champs. But it didn't matter because at the end of the year, they performed when it mattered. They had one of the best tournament runs in COD history to win COD champs, and they did so pretty convincingly. But like I said earlier, they don't want to make the same mistake twice, and that mistake is keeping the championship winning team into the next season just because they won the championship that year. Hector Rodriguez, the CEO of Optic, if you guys didn't know, it's pretty well known at this point that he made the change for this young man right here, Mercules. Yes, he obviously took the players into consideration and got opinions from people around him, but the players were not going to change. They were considering it, but they did not want to make this change before champs. And so Hex made the final call after getting a little earful, not an earful I should say, but after getting a whisper in the ear from people like Zinni, just people in the org, people around him that he's listening to obviously, and Zinni being Methods, someone who's on Optic if you guys aren't aware. But up here you guys can see Optic's run this tournament. They did absolutely insane. We'll start over here. They played FaZe first, 3-0'd them. Then they played Toronto, 3-0'd them. And then we head over to Saturday, and Saturday they played Boston, 3-0'd them. Absolutely shitted on those guys. Then they played Surge in winners final on Sunday and was able to overtake them 5-3 to get the world championship. And the thing that is crazy right now, because like I said, they won this championship, but they're still considering making a change for this guy right here, Optic Hook. And it's crazy because Hook was dropped from this team earlier this year, and he started in Challengers this year. He's just been on a roller coaster of a ride this year. Still came back to the green wall. No bad words spoken about us the entire time. Then he comes back to win a chip. And word on the street is we're still considering making a change if certain people are available. That certain person would actually be this man down here, Christopher Lair, aka FaZe Simp. Because if you guys don't know the lore about FaZe Simp, he has basically, as far as I've been watching Call of Duty, as long as I have been, he hasn't been available for his entire career. And so he's always been on FaZe as far as I know. And for him to be a free agent on the market, it's almost like you pack a punch when you can pack a punch. You know, it's one of those things where if you can upgrade, you upgrade. You don't want to miss out on this kind of opportunity. He is a generational talent. And to have Jynxzi, Dashie, Mercules, and Simp on the same team, on paper, it does sound like a great team. But I said the Green Wall would be upset because I myself am a Green Wall fan, and I would be pissed if Optic Hook was to get kicked off this team once again after bringing so much value to this team this year. His comms, his attitude, his gameplay, obviously. Hook was probably one of the best players. Hook was one of the best players this year, and for him to get dropped, pick back up, win the championship tournament, and then win the world championship tournament, and then get dropped again, I think that's absolutely absurd. I don't think that they should even be. Well, the thing is, you have to consider it because, like I said, FaZe Simp has never been on the market as long as I can remember. For the past 6 years, he's literally been on FaZe this entire time. No ifs, ands, or buts about his contract being expired until this season ended. And so, after EWC, depending on how these teams do, Optic, FaZe are most likely making a change regardless. But Optic, it's very dependent on how they do at the World Cup, I'm going to assume, because if they do good and they do good on back-to-back tournaments, prove that they can win a tournament that's not just the biggest one in the world when all the pressure's on them. And I think that's going to be good for them if they win this tournament. Obviously, that'll help their team stick together. And basically, anybody who doesn't win this tournament is going to have their spot be in jeopardy. Okay? So, and also, the last couple years, FaZe has been struggling at Champs. FaZe Simp had his worst performance at Champs this year, and you gotta think, FaZe Simp is one of the GOATs of Call of Duty, or he's in the conversation to be. And so, if he were to get another ring, people were saying that would solidify him as one of the greatest COD players of all time, put him above, people like Clayster, maybe, Scump, Karma, because he already has 2 rings, and for him to get another one would be legendary. And so, Hook for Simp or not, what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. I want to know what you guys think about this, especially if you're Green Wall fans. How do you feel about Hook being dropped after winning the World Championship for Simp? Okay, it's not like we're dropping him for Abuza or Standy or, some mid-tier AR or some mid-tier SMG that's not, worth it, obviously. We're dropping him for Simp. Somebody who came into the scene, and when they did, had the most hype ever, damn near, won his World Championship, like, the first few years. I think the first year maybe he was in the league. And so, it's a big question right now in the scene. How's Optic going to do at EWC? If they do bad, are they going to get Simp? If they do good, are they going to get Simp anyway? Like, it's a really big question right now in the scene. But another question you got to ask yourself when you're thinking about this stuff from the perspective of a viewer is, do we think that the team wants to change? Because after going through an entire year of roster changes and after then winning the biggest tournament of the year, they peaked at the right point. And so I don't think they want to go through another roster change and another honeymoon period if they don't have to, considering, like I said, this team just won the World Championship. They're a good team. If they can stick with this dynamic, all these guys can slay. All these guys have decent comms. And if they can just hone in on those things and make those things even better than they are now, then this team will be competing with FaZe, Thieves, Surge, and any other top contenders in these tournaments. So basically the storyline here is like, does Optic make a change if they don't win EWC, or if they do win if they win EWC, I think that there's no way they make a change. If they don't win EWC and place, say 3rd or 4th, then I think that there is a real chance they make a change, and it might be for FaZe Simp. You might see FaZe Simp in Optic Green for the first time ever, which would be very interesting because we recently had Kenny on our team last year who was never on Optic. He was always on Thieves. He was on Thieves for a long time, and that's red as well. And then we brought him over to the Green Wall. Got a chip. And so could we do the same thing with Simp if we got rid of Hook and, Pack-a-Punched? Who knows? But let me know what you guys think, like I said. And let's move on to the last story. Clash Royale has made a full comeback, baby. And it's because of this guy right here, Jynxzi. If you guys know Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, they're made by Supercell. They're 2 mobile games that you get troops and stuff in, you get cards in, you basically just attack other people's bases. Recently, sometime at the beginning of this year, or sometime, I want to say like maybe 3-4 months into the year, I think Jynxzi started playing Clash Royale. He was playing Clash of Clans, I'm pretty sure. And then he switched to Clash Royale. And so he's been pushing towards 15K trophies. He's been getting coached by top players like this guy named Riley. I'm not too familiar with him, but I've been seeing some of the clips on TikTok, and he's definitely good at the game. And so just to give you guys an idea of how much Jynxzi has influenced the Clash Royale scene, at the start of March, they brought in $20.9 million from player spending. And in April, they had a 13% increase from $20.9 million to $23.7 million. And then from April to May, they had a 67% increase, up to $40 million. And then from May to June, they had a 127% increase, their biggest month since December of 2021, and that grossed them $51.4 million. Overall, 145% increase from March to June. And I'm really just curious, for one, why he started playing Clash Royale. I'm assuming that he's always been a Clasher, a Clash of Clans player, Clash Royale kind of guy, and so he didn't just hop on the wave, make the account, and then start grinding to make content, because that seems that's disingenuous. I don't think that's something he would do. And I'm really just like, the storyline here to me is like, at this point, what's the next game that Jynxzi is gonna try and revive, or is he gonna go back to Siege, or is he gonna go to another phone game? Because his audience is very loyal. He has a huge audience, are willing to watch him, play what he plays, follow him. And so, yeah, it's a question I'm going to pose to you guys. What do you guys think that Jynxzi is going to do next after this Clash Royale era ends for him? Comment down below who won the AMP war. Comment down below, should Optic make a change for FaZe Simp for Hook if Simp is available? And last but not least, what do you guys enjoy more, Clash Royale or Clash of Clans? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Subscribe, like, and peace out.